Welcome everybody to the Main Street Festival, Main Street Parade. We are smack dab in the middle of everything right here on Main Street in Laurel, Maryland. I'm Dave Owens, and as you can see behind me, the parade is just getting underway. What a wonderful Saturday morning, and it is my honor to be your host here this Saturday morning. Mother Nature has been very kind to us as well. No rain as of yet. Fingers crossed. And as the zoom, zoom, zoom of the Harley Davidsons go roaring by, we are underway with everyone here in the 38th annual, get that, Main Street Festival. Hello, Main Street Festival, Main Street Parade. We've been doing it for many years here in the city of Laurel. Let me set the scene for you. I'm going to step out of the way for just a moment as you get a sense for what's going on behind me. We just saw our first flight of participants going by. We've got more than 300 vendors down here on Main Street and 70 participants in our parade, and they're going by in their full fervor and the full pomp and circumstance as you would expect in all of our parades. We're going to be here during this festival, during this parade, and we'll be bringing you all of the information as they go by the parade stand. Again, it is a wonderful, wonderful day here on Main Street. What the sights and sounds, the pageantry, all that you could wonder and all that you could ask for here on Main Street. I tell you what, there's something for everyone as well. Well, we got free pain relief samples here, something for the folks to come by and take a look at. Step on out here for just a second. I'll tell you what, I'm in pain.
And you look like you're a very healthy kind of guy, too.
I'm not that healthy. What do you got here for me, huh?
I got some real-time pain relief lotion for any kind of pain that anybody...
Put some on my elbow, because my elbow's in pain. I can tell you that much. I've been holding this mic all day.
How you feel right now?
It feels okay.
Okay, now we're coming in, and I want to rub it in real
Why
good.
is my skin turning colors?
Because you are of color. But look, check out that smell.
Smells good.
Huh?
Smells good.
Tell people come on, brother.
Smells good. We'll have them come on by. Free pain samples, free pain relief samples here, everybody. But that's just sort of an example of what you're going to have throughout the day if you come on down to the Maryland Main Street Festival. Beautiful. All the sights and sounds on a Saturday afternoon. Let's take a look at some of our participants as they go rolling by. Our Grand Marshal today, our Grand Marshal from St. Mary of the Mills Catholic Church. Celebrating really a couple of milestones, 175 years serving the Laurel community. Reverend Monsignor Michael Malone is the pastor of this thriving parish, and Father Philip Ilg serves as the parochial vicar. St. Mary's has over 1,500 registered families with 7 services each weekend, including 1 in Spanish, as well as 2 daily morning masses. St. Mary's of the Mills is dedicated to spreading the gospel message throughout the sacraments. Great to have them here today. And, of course, don't forget the school, St. Mary of the Mills School, participating in the parade as well. Students there going by from St. Mary's of the Mills School, celebrating its 125th anniversary, by the way. Now the Cub Pack 1250 from St. Mary's of the Mills Church. Here they come. Cub Scout Pack 1250 of St. Mary of the Mills Catholic Church. The Cub Scouts span from kindergartners to the 5th grade before transitioning to the Boy Scouts. They have a long history of serving our community, as well as camping and many other learning experiences. Looking loud and proud on this Saturday morning. And the American Heritage Girls is the premier national character development program for girls ages 5 to 18 that embraces Christian values and encourages family involvement. Look at them there, waving to the crowd, "Loyal be thy name." How about that? They look wonderful. Chartered through St. Mary's of the Mills Church in Laurel, Maryland, 80 girls from private, public, and homeschool who make a promise to love to God. Of course, we have some of our we're going to have some of our dignitaries here today, and this is going to be, as they come walking through, some very familiar faces that we know well here in the city of Laurel. Mayor Moe, of course, in his 4th term as mayor in the city of Laurel, started in 2002. 16 years later, still going strong. Mayor Moe, always a recognizable figure at these events. He'll also be joined by Council President, Councilmember Michael Les, City Council Member Carl DeWalt from Ward 1, City Council President Pro Tem Valerie Nicholas from Ward 1, City Council Member Keith Sidnor from Ward 2, and City Council Member Fred Smalls from Ward 2. They'll also be working today with the Laurel Board of Trade. A big thank you out to the Laurel Board of Trade, initially called the Main Street Merchants Association. Started back in 1960 when a group of small business-minded individuals began the group, and of course, as the years went by, many non-Main Street members wanted to join the association, and hence the name was changed to the Laurel Board of Trade. And here we go. And of course, our 21st District delegation, Senator Jim Rosenpap is part of that, of course. Delegate Barbara Frush alongside Delegate Jocelyn Pena-Melnick. Been highly involved with a lot of things going on in the area. There he is, shaking hands. Senator Rosenpap, as he works his way through the crowd, and Councilman Smalls, as always, a very recognizable figure. Of course, Delegate Ben Barnes as well. We're into the campaign season, of course, and so we're seeing a lot of these familiar faces here. Of course, the vroom, vroom, vroom of the Laurel Police Department, working in partnership with the entire community. That was the Sheriff's Department. Sorry about that. I jumped the gun on it. I jumped the gun on it. That was Sheriff Melvin C. High, and walking through with a wave to the crowd, and there is his contingent coming behind it. And we're back here, and of course I'm with a very recognizable figure and face. Chief Richard McLaughlin, always a pleasure to catch up with you. How you doing today?
Good morning. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. I mean, we got a lot going on out here. Just sort of give me your thoughts on this beautiful day, this Maryland Festival.
Well, it is a beautiful day, and if you're not here, you should be.
Yeah, you should.
And hopefully you're en route. If you do come, there's a couple things I want to make everybody aware of. There are a lot of streets closed. There's a lot of traffic that's being rerouted. There's a lot of one-way streets that are now two-way streets. Pay attention to the signage. Pay attention to any warnings. Pay attention to any direction that you're given by either the civilian volunteers or the police officers. Don't get frustrated. Do not block the streets, and make sure there's safe passage for emergency vehicles if needed. Again, parking's at a premium. You may have to walk. You're not going to get front row seats today, particularly right now. So just be patient. Take your time. It'll be here when you get here, and it's a great event. It's a great family event. There's a lot of opportunity here. The other thing is please, if you come, make sure that you drink plenty of water or some type of, just hydrate yourselves, because it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, and we don't want to deal with people passing out.
Chief, who would ever get frustrated on a day like today?
Well, that's true, but these crowds have a way of making it happen.
No, I know. Of course, I'm joking around. You've been involved with this event for many years. This is really just a fun, cool event for everyone. Something down here for everyone. I know you love this event.
I do, and you know, in particular in more recent years, it's become very family friendly. It's more family oriented. There's a lot of things here. There's a lot of reason to come. Whether you buy something or just walk the street, it's healthy. It's a beautiful day, and the weather is more than it's a great day.
Way to keep your poise right there.
Yeah.
Hey, it's happened to me many times. That was the Laurel Volunteer Rescue Squad, by the way, that just went by us. I mean, I know your folks are out here also with a presence as well. Community policing, you're really big on that. This is a big day for that, really just showing your presence.
It is, and if you get the opportunity, you know, we're getting ready to kick off National Police Week, which is in remembrance of all the officers that have died in the line of duty. If you see one of the officers, please just take the time to say hello, thank you for what you're doing, and acknowledge them.
Well, I'm seeing an officer now. I'm saying hello. Always a pleasure to catch up with you. Have a great day. And don't get stressed, Chief.
No,
don't
good.
get stressed.
I am good. Thank you.
Appreciate the day. All right, man. Take it easy. As the Laurel Volunteer Rescue Squad comes on by. Boy, look at these trucks. All the lights flashing, and the kids really love this one. There's no doubt about that. Vehicles present today, the Chief Command vehicle Chevy Tahoe, Ambulance 849, 2013 Freightliner Excellence. Look at them coming on through. They do great work in the community, no doubt about that. The Laurel Volunteer Rescue Squad, always a recognizable figure here in the city of Laurel. Again, want to thank Police Chief Richard McLaughlin. 28 years of service here in the city of Laurel. Started his career in 1986, and he's still going strong. For the Laurel Volunteer Fire Department, by the way, been responding to emergencies for the city of Laurel and surrounding neighborhoods for over 125 years. Blazes, wrecks, emergency medical calls. These guys and ladies, they really do it all. Thanks to the Laurel community for supporting the department's fundraising efforts for all those years. Well, you gotta love the color guard as they come walking through, and more fire trucks as well. That's always a beautiful sight. More from the volunteer firefighting department. Again, 125 years. The key word, volunteer. You think about it, these men and women do so much for the community. Selfless be thy name. And the mayor was part of the volunteer firefighting department as well for many years. Mayor Craig Moe. And we'll get a chance, obviously, to talk to Mayor Craig Moe as the day goes on here. And look at these precious youngsters here on the back of this truck. Wow, throwing out some candy. I need some candy. Hey, there we go. Boy, that's a pretty good throw by that young lady. She almost took my eye out. What a wonderful day there. Well, the contingent from Prince George's County Councilwoman Mary Lehman in attendance here. They're about to come by after this last truck that goes by. Of course, Councilwoman Lehman has been in District 1 for the past 8 years in Prince George's County. There she is, walking by. Mary Lehman, District 1, Prince George's County Councilwoman, shaking hands. She's always a very recognizable figure here in the county, in the area. She's been a resident of Laurel for 29 years, where she lives with her husband and children. A lot of history in this Main Street Festival, this Main Street Parade, and we're going to tell you a little bit about this history. We went back and chronicled some of that. We've got a story for you coming up on the history of the Maryland Main Street Festival. Enjoy.
If you've ever been to Laurel, Maryland, chances are you've made more than a few trips up and down Main Street. It's in the heart of the city's historic district, and it's been here for as long as there's been a Laurel, Maryland. But if you're like me and you grew up here in the 1980s, or if you spent a significant amount of time here in the 3 decades since, the very mention of Main Street brings to mind one particular thing: the Main Street Festival. The first ever Main Street Festival took place on May 16, 1981, and was inspired in part by the city's long overdue upgrade of Main Street itself. Throughout the 60s and 70s, the surface quality of the street had become notoriously bad, prompting city officials to focus on making a complete overhaul their top priority. Everything from the asphalt itself to the sidewalks, the lamp posts, even the trash cans took on a brand new appearance over the course of 1980 and into early 1981. While everyone agreed it was a much-needed improvement, businesses suffered during construction, with the constant road work proving to be a stressful inconvenience for merchants, some of whom reported losses of 25% or more over the 9-month construction period. In January 1981, just 4 months before the first Main Street Festival was scheduled to take place, organizers were faced with the possibility that they'd actually have to cancel the event. Of the 130 business owners contacted about participating, only 9 showed up to a critical planning meeting. Worried about the possibility of losing even more business, a problem exacerbated when WSSC ended up digging a massive hole in the brand new street in late February, merchants were concerned that closing Main Street for the festival might do more harm than good. But business owners like Carlo Petrucci and Bob Cook sold their fellow merchants on the idea that pedestrian traffic and a sidewalk booth would only draw customers to their stores, and support for the May event was back on track. Mayor Bob DePietro cut the ribbon, and the very first Main Street Festival proved to be a bigger success than anyone imagined. A parade, live music, food, exhibitors, arts and crafts, and other events brought out and sustained the crowds. At least 10,000 were estimated to have attended, and that seems to have been a modest guess. Within days, previously skeptical merchants and residents alike were asking the same question: can we do it again next year? And just like that, a Laurel tradition was made. Every year since 1981, Laurel has held its Main Street Festival on the Saturday before Mother's Day, and it's only gotten bigger. As it's grown over the years, there's a familiarity that never goes away, in spite of the businesses that have changed over time. You remember the faces in the parades, and the bands that kept you moving. The sights, sounds, and smells instantly take you back to the beginning. stop into Matt's newsstand for a quick respite from the heat, or Pal Jack's for one of the best tasting pizzas of all time. It all started in 1981 with the celebration of a repaved and rejuvenated Main Street. It was so much fun, Laurel's done it every year since. Some folks haven't missed a Main Street Festival since the very first one. Others are just now discovering this classic Laurel tradition, which routinely draws crowds of up to 100,000 people from all over the D.C., Maryland, and Virginia region, and beyond. If Laurel had an annual family reunion, it would be the Main Street Festival. You'll see familiar faces, enjoy great food, and make new memories while reminiscing along this legendary street. You might even find yourself riding in the parade one day. I'm Richard Friend, and I'll see you this year at the Main Street Festival.
All right, and welcome back. How about these big trucks rumbling through Main Street here? Automotive Support, based out of Laurel, showing American pride with their unique color-coded trucks. I gotta get me one of these things. This will get me through traffic. On a serious note, now you'll notice some of the different colors here. Hopefully we can get a shot of it. Now inside of the truck, you'll see some of the kiddos inside the truck. They really love riding up in that truck. Throwing some candy out of the far side there too. Automotive Support, based out of Laurel, Maryland. Some of our participants continue to go by. This is political season, so seeing a lot of signs and folks out shaking hands and familiarizing themselves with the community as the election season comes up. Again, this Main Street Festival, this Main Street Parade, I should say, really the kickoff of the flagship event here in the city of Laurel, the Main Street Festival, which has been going on now for some 38 years. And it's jam-packed on this Main Street area, this Main Street corridor. In years past, it's sort of hard to get through. So if you're at home right now watching, come on down and enjoy. Don't forget what the Chief of Police had to say about road closures. Take your time. It'll be here when you get here. But again, this is the flagship event for the city of Laurel when it comes to food and fun and families and entertainment right here on Main Street all afternoon long. Boy, you gotta love that music here. That's just a taste of what you're going to hear when you come down to the Main Street Festival. The Whispers from the 1985. She's a Bad Mama Jamma. Of course, one of my favorites in the distance. We'll be able to pick them up with our camera location here in just a moment. Nothing's more near and dear to my heart, and I'm sure others, than Little League Baseball. Of course, we all grew up playing Little League sports oftentimes. And how about this? the Little Leaguers of Laurel since 1995. Laurel Little League has provided baseball and softball, little leagues, as well as tournament and instructional opportunities for thousands of boys and girls. Look at them here as they're walking by. Laurel Little League, ladies and gentlemen. Laurel Little League. Hey! You know, in addition to teaching baseball and softball, the Laurel Little League is committed to teaching and developing future leaders, good citizens, and outstanding young adults. And that's a key point. We think about the baseball and the softball, but really they're teaching leadership and really just teaching these young boys and girls how to be solid citizens. As a military man, this warms my heart right here. The Laurel High School Air Force Junior ROTC. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Looking great. These young men and women looking great in uniform. Of course, the mission of Air Force Junior ROTC is to build better citizens for America. The objectives of Air Force Junior ROTC are to educate and train high school cadets in citizenship, promote community as well. Well done. New Haven Baptist Church. They're a Bible-believing and Bible-teaching church. Services Sunday, 10 o'clock in the morning. Bible study and prayer every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Always welcome, always great to see them. Well, we can certainly hear them. Now we can see them. How about that? The fan van. Say no more. Die-hard Redskins fans will appreciate this tricked-out fan van. The 1995 Ford Custom Conversion Fan is the ultimate tribute to DC's football team. How about that? The burgundy and gold. Let's see if Kirk Cousins is going to pop out of the back of that thing. Oops, I'm sorry, did I say that? The 12th man, be loud and proud. It's the Redskins fan van. And as more of our participants come rolling through, we again want to just remind you to come on down to the Main Street Festival. It'll be going on all throughout the day. till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. This parade, of course, is the beginning of all of the festivities. Don't forget what Police Chief Richard McLaughlin told us earlier about some of the road closures. Take your time coming down and enjoy this wonderful day. The Islamic Community Center of Laurel, founded over 30 years ago. Since its establishment, the founding and supporting members have embarked on a journey in their faith to foster a community where no one has superiority over anybody else. Great to see them here today. This Laurel community, of course, one of acceptance for everyone. It's an area that's almost equidistant between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. And as you go through this community, you see all races, creeds, and colors, and everyone is accepted. Here comes the City of Laurel Senior Transportation Service. How about that? Riding in style today. Seniors can travel around the city for $30 per year. Curbside pickup. City of Laurel Seniors is on the move. Trips, travel, and tours and special events designed just for seniors. And that's pretty cool. I like it. I want to remind you, you are looking and listening live to the Maryland Main Street Parade as we get set for our Main Street Festival. We've seen a lot of sights and sounds throughout the day. Our Grand Marshal, St. Mary of the Mills Catholic Church. They're our Grand Marshal this afternoon, celebrating 175 years of service here in the area. And it's an interesting name here because, you know, of the Mills, it was stationed near the mill, and that's hence the name St. Mary's of the Mill. What's the history? We've got some more on our Grand Marshal. Take a look.
You're invited to celebrate our rich history during this, our 175th anniversary as a parish, and our 125th anniversary as a parish school. It takes a tremendous amount of dedication of parishioners, parents, educators, and students to achieve this milestone. We pray that the love of Christ, learning, and service will be evident to all that we do this year. On behalf of St. Mary's Parish community, I welcome you. Be assured that we will do our best to share the presence of Christ with all whom we meet.
My name is Laurel TV and I belong to the Filipino-American group here at St. Mary of the Mills.
My name is Ikechukwu Mbano. I'm a physician. I represent the African community of St. Mary's Parish.
Mi nombre es Eva García.
¿Y en qué ministerio participas aquí en St. Mary's?
Participo en el coro y participo con la catequesis de los niños y en el grupo carismático.
The parish and the school help us a lot with our family, and they have some seminars like Discovering Christ and Following Christ that will deepen your relationship with God, and that was really helpful.
Y en el grupo carismático siento que el Espíritu Santo me transforma y me llena de paz.
¿Y estás agradecida a St. Mary's por todo lo que has recibido?
Sí, la considero como mi casa, mi comunidad.
St. Mary of the Mills is very friendly. I was diagnosed with cancer in 2015, and every time I needed some testing, I come to the parish and ask for anointing with Father Bill or Father Schaefer, and it helped me a lot with my when I was dealing with my cancer.
Apart from the diversity, and the friendly atmosphere we get here, like I said, the pastors here are very caring. They listen to you. They are very involved in the affairs of the parish. So, and then we had this African community, which is a home for us, and my children. So we love it here. I pray that the parish continues to grow in leaps and bounds. As long as I'm here in the United States, in this area, this is my home.
Welcome back. I'll tell you what, I think I want that car. I want to jump in that car. I want to jump in that car as we get back here live at our parade positioning here, the CDL Book Club of Laurel. That's a way to catch people's eye. I didn't even know that was about a book club. I thought it was about cars. That's good advertising there. CDL Book Club right there on Main Street. So that yellow Camaro, by the way, you can advertise your business on that Camaro. I might want to take that up. Well done. I like it. That's a good advertising ploy. I like it. I like it. I like it. Want to thank all of our crews, by the way, behind the scenes, who have been putting this whole production together. Those packages that you're seeing, the history of this festival, the history of the parade, the history of our Grand Marshal. And our mayor just came straight through the shot there. We're going to be talking to him coming up here shortly. Always a very recognizable figure, of course, in our parades and all of our events here in the city of Laurel. How about the Boys and Clubs, the Boys and Girls Club of Laurel, the Wildcat Cheerleaders? Aren't they the cutest things in the world? The Laurel Wildcat Cheerleaders are a close-knit, energetic group of dedicated coaches, parents, and girls. Hey, ladies! That is awesome. They're the Wildcats. They're not the only small group that's here, or I should say young group, because they're not small. The Laurel Stallions youth football and cheer. Look at these guys. The Laurel Stallions, a youth sports organization serving families of Laurel and the surrounding areas. Decked out in their, would that be powder blue and black? I like it. They implement a strong and solid foundation in the community using the ideals of education, physical conditioning, sportsmanship, and teamwork. And they're loud and proud too. They are loud and proud. How about it? The Laurel Stallions Youth Football and Cheer. Hey! The DMV Spider Riders. I want to get on one of those things. Specializing in distance riding in the DMV. Pretty cool. And they just enjoy having a great ride, and they welcome new members as well. The DMV Spider Riders. The DMV Spider Riders. DMVSR.com. Pretty interesting looking machines. Now that's something I could ride and not fall off of. If you're just joining us, welcome to the 38th annual Main Street Parade. It's part of the Main Street Festival here in the city of Laurel, the flagship event for food, fun, entertainment. Come on down to Main Street. Take your time as well, too. Take your time. We had on earlier Chief Richard McLaughlin, Police Chief Richard McLaughlin. Wanted to remind you of some of the street closures that are in the area, so take your time. Well, how about Troop 1094? These beautiful young group here going through. A lot of these young groups really focusing on community and leadership, team building. Always great to see. Always great to see. Well, and if you're planning on coming down, Mother Nature has been pretty kind to us today, huh? I mean, the weather is just perfect. Thought it might be a little warm, but it's been pretty cool. No rain, nice puffy clouds in the sky. There are over 300 vendors along Main Street. We introduced you to some of them a little bit earlier. Come on down and get yourself a funnel cake, too. And you can see just about anything. Arts and crafts, candle makers, etc. Grace Baptist Church of Laurel welcoming us as they go through. Grace Baptist Church celebrating their 50th anniversary of ministry in Laurel. Boy, this very loud and boisterous group, the Girl Scouts of Service Union 40. Service Union 40 of Laurel, Anne Arundel County, serving the Maryland City and Russet communities. Those young ladies are loud and proud. Good to see them. Just moments ago, we saw Craig Moe sort of flash through our camera location. We'll get an opportunity to talk to Craig Moe, Mayor Craig Moe, excuse me, in a little bit. The mayor in his 4th term here in the city of Laurel, beginning in 2002. 16 years later, still going strong, doing great work here in the city of Laurel. Oh, live television at its finest. We just grabbed Senator Jim Rosenpep. Senator, always a pleasure to catch up with you. How you doing today?
This is the event of the year. I love the Laurel Main Street Festival. I love the parade. I love the fact that it's not raining.
Well, I was saying that earlier too, right? I mean, Mother Nature's been pretty kind to us.
Absolutely.
Thought it would be warm today, but it's just perfect.
It's just perfect. They had to get a little warmer later today, but now it is absolutely perfect.
I thought I was the man with the most energy here on Main Street, you're the guy with the most energy here on Main Street. Tell me about this event and why it's one that you always love to be a visible participant of. This is really a cool event.
It's a very cool event, and there are a number of parts of it. One of it is just Main Street. I mean, what the city of Laurel has done to revitalize and help and improve Main Street. There are a lot of Main Streets in towns around the country that are gone or they're decaying, and this is a vibrant Main Street, and the city's really worked hard to do that. And this is really the annual celebration of the Main Street we have here in Laurel, and we get people from all over the region. So I meet people here who are from Glen Burnie, I meet people here from Columbia, because they want to come and be here with us in Laurel for the Main Street Festival.
Yeah, you know, I always say Laurel is unique in the sense that it's got small town roots, but it's beginning to grow and it's got a bigger city feel to it, doesn't it?
No, absolutely. And it's also convenient. So this is between Baltimore and
Equidistant.
Equally between Baltimore and Washington, but it has a small town feel to it, a small town government. And you know, it's the only municipality in Prince George's County that has its own zoning authority, which is one of the reasons that the city's done such a good job in preserving what's good about the past, but also improving it for the future.
Yeah, we just saw a lot of bills signed there in Annapolis a couple of days ago. I know you're involved with a lot of different things. You're in the mix of a lot of things. As you kind of come through Laurel, a lot of different things happening in this area. What are some of the things that are sort of on your mind from a situational standpoint that's important to the folks here?
Well, the big one was saving Laurel Hospital. We worked very closely with Mayor Moe and Councilwoman Lehman, Delegate Pena-Melnick, Barnes, and Frush and I. They were talking about closing Laurel Hospital. And we said, no, you're not going to do that. We got the University of Maryland Medical System to take over Laurel Hospital. Now they've announced a $50 million new building, new technology, new services. So I think that's the big deal. It's going to be very important, not just for people who need medical help, because all of us need some kind of medical help one time or another, but from the point of view of the community, it's a place that people feel comfortable, feel they have local hospital that has their needs at heart, and that's what we're going to be having going forward.
Yeah, that medical center, if it comes to fruition, going to be very important in the community. Senator Rosenpep, always a pleasure to see you, and hey, slow down a little bit,
Later today. See you, nice to see you.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Senator James Rosenpep, everybody, always running around, shaking hands, doing great things, and he's always a great interview as well. All right, back to our parade as it continues to work through. You hear the music. Extra Dance is a competitive dance company located in Laurel, Maryland. Look at these beautiful kids right here. How about that? We got the music going and everybody. Hey, hey. Now, I've been told to try to get out there and dance with them, but I know where my limitations are. Get it, ladies. Hit it. Hit it. Give it up for Extra Dance. You know, the really cool thing, too, is they're not just dancing. They're really teaching the artistry of dance. Well done. Beautiful. Now, I thought some of our production members were going to get out there and break it down, too, but I guess not. How about this? The Laurel House of Horrors. Ooh, boy, that mask is scaring me. Laurel's House of Horrors, Maryland's scariest haunted house. 5th year at the Laurel Shopping Center. And you see it right on the front. Open 7 to 10 tonight. How about that? Looking for a date? Head over to the Laurel's House of Horror. There you go. Boy, this parade's something else. You see just the the diversity of all of the participants. And if you're just checking in with us, you are looking live at the Maryland Main Street Parade, part of the Main Street Festival. I'm Dave Owens. I'm your host. As the day goes on, in our 38th year, the Main Street Festival, Main Street Parade, put on by the Laurel Board of Trade. Now you're looking at the Laurel Lakes Pediatric Dentistry. They're celebrating their first year in business, spotlighting the Tooth Fairy. How about that, the Tooth Fairy? Hey, 46 years, no cavities here. 46 years, no cavities. They're conveniently located in the heart of Laurel, just north of the junction of Conti and Route 1. One of the new businesses here, in the city of Laurel. Well, we certainly can hear them, and we're about to see them here shortly. That vroom vroom is the Queens and Kings Riders. Queens and Kings Auto Club, the most popular and most known auto club in the DMV, with a member count of over 30 Chargers, Challengers, Magnums, and Chrysler 300s. How about that? How about a little vroom for me? Vroom, vroom, vroom. Now, as the host, I should be able to take one of these home and just try them out, I think. No? Okay. And as the vroom, vroom, vroom goes by, come on out here. It's none other than Mr. Bob Mignon, right? Bob,
that's correct.
Bob Mignon. I want to make sure I say that correctly. From the Laurel Board of Trade.
Correct.
What a day.
What a day.
What an event, and I know you're excited about it.
I certainly am.
Should be.
Anybody who's at home, who's not here, turn that TV off and you come down here, because you can watch this on a tape later on, because it is incredible what's going on here.
Well, real quick, Bob, while these cool cars are going behind us, can I take one of these home? I know you're running this thing.
I don't have that kind of influence. I wish I did. But what a day. We have like over 380 booths here, and all kinds of food, and many crafters who have all kinds of gifts. So if you're looking for a Mother's Day present, all you last minute guys, come on down and you can buy it here, no doubt.
No doubt about it. How this event has grown over the years, how the city of Laurel and the area has grown over the years. You guys, your organization, the Laurel Board of Trade, has sort of been right in the middle of all that. So let's talk about that globally, how this event has grown over the years.
It has grown substantially. Just in the last 10 years, it's grown substantially. We've been around 38 years. And during that 38-year period, we've had some really wonderful festivals. But by far and away, I think this year is the most number of booths that we've had available on the street.
Yeah, and just the diversity of folks that you have here. You got a funnel cake over here. You got art down the way. I mean, you've got someone over here advertising free pain relief samples and
That's
a candle maker.
I tell you.
Anything for everybody.
Exactly right. I mean, it always impresses me the different businesses that are out there and how people make a living selling different products. And the foodstuffs, there are lots of good foodstuffs here today from all over the world.
Small business is sort of your wheelhouse.
It is.
That's sort of the board's wheelhouse, and this area, again, reflecting some of that. When you see the growth of Laurel and how small business has been such a big part of that, sort of talk about that and how this area is growing, this equidistant area between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore.
The 21-mile difference between Baltimore and Washington. We attract a lot of small businesses settle on Main Street, and the reason for that is that our rents are very, very competitive. It's in a great marketplace. There are many millions of people within a 5-mile, 8-mile radius of Laurel. So it's a great place for business to thrive.
And we're seeing that in front of our eyes.
You are. It's right here. It's all right here.
No doubt about that. What's your favorite your vendor and stand here today? Or are they all your favorite?
I love them all. Everybody here has got something that is unique and offering to someone.
Bob, always a pleasure to catch up with you. I know you're busy. You got the vest on. Stay safe out there as these cars come booming by.
Thanks so much. Take care. Have a good time.
And we'll continue back here live. And as we were talking to the Laurel Board of Trade, one of our final acts, one of our final participants just came by, and that wraps up our Laurel Day Parade. So I'll step out here in front of our camera position here. What a day it's been. As you sort of look behind me, you're starting to see the folks now sort of start to fill in on Main Street. And now you need to get down here to Main Street for this festival, which will be going on all afternoon until 4 o'clock, I believe, in the afternoon on Main Street. This is the flagship event of the city of Laurel when it comes to food and fun and families and entertainment. There are more than 300 vendors spanning down Main Street both ways. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Come down and get yourself a funnel cake and enjoy the day here in Laurel. All right, that's going to do it for our coverage of the parade. Again, it's been our pleasure to bring it to you. And for all of our crew who came out here early this morning, 6, 7 o'clock to get this whole thing set up, we appreciate them. For the men and women who were up all night and then up early to bring you this, we appreciate them. That's going to do it here from Main Street. I'm going to hang out here for the rest of the day, but for now, we're going to get on out of here and enjoy the rest of the Main Street Festival. I'm Dave Owens. It's been a pleasure to be your host. So long, everybody.